Hi everyone, Sheehan here. That's what she said. Happy to be coming to you today, Monday, October 14th, with an update. I have not spoken to you since I graduated radiation on August 26th, and I just wanted to catch you up with how I'm doing. Geez, I've come a long way in such a short period of time, and I'd just like to acknowledge myself for that. I'd also like to acknowledge all of you for all your thoughts, prayers, and support. It has meant so much to me throughout my journey and really helps me on my most difficult days. As you can see, my hair is growing back, and I'm actually getting it shaped up a bit now at the barber, keeping it short by choice as the rest of the chemo grows out and I continue to heal. My skin has been healing and making tremendous progress. I just wanted to let any of you know who are going through radiation a little bit about my experience. I thought in the last week of radiation that I was over the worst of it, and I didn't realize that the peak effects would not occur until about 10 days after I completed radiation. So I felt really grateful that I made it through radiation without having any tears in my skin. However, I wasn't quite prepared for the effects that continue to progress after you're done. And they did explain to you in advance that you are getting like a full dose of radiation split up over time. So if you imagine it like you're getting a loaf of bread, they just give you one slice at a time. And at the very end, the effects have accumulated and will continue to wear on your skin. One thing that one of my neighbors said to me was, "Oh, radiation, the gift that keeps on giving." And I didn't know what she meant until I completed my treatment and continued to have burning effects. So I really was in a lot of pain and had virtually third-degree burns underneath my armpits, which are now healed. You can see healing quite nicely. They did do 5 additional treatments, as I had mentioned, on my scar, which did make that area burn a little longer, but it is also starting to heal up. I also have continued on my blood thinner for the blood clot that is in my arm, and I had a follow-up scan last week, which unfortunately showed that the clot still is going all the way up to my armpit, and it's not getting better. So the plan is for me to have my port removed, this plastic port that they gave my chemo through. This is going to come out this Friday, and hopefully that'll increase the blood flow through my arm. That, in addition to the blood thinner, which I'm resuming, hopefully that will dissolve the clot finally. But I'm not gonna lie, I've had a rough couple of weeks, and especially this past week, as I knew that the clot wasn't getting better, and I was trying to communicate with my oncologist, and it was freaking me out because I knew that I stopped my blood thinner October 3rd, which was over 11 days ago. And I've been concerned because the deep vein thrombosis can go to your heart. It could cause a heart attack, stroke, you could lose your vision. The clot could go anywhere at any time, and that freaks me out. So I've been very proactive with my care, and I've been calling the oncologist and his nurse practitioner, as well as two of my interventional cardiology friends who see this type of complication frequently, and they both agree with the treatment strategy of getting the port out and resuming the blood thinner. It's just disheartening to me because today, for example, I went to have my blood drawn before I can have the surgical procedure done on Friday, and they weren't able to access my veins. It's disheartening to me because I always had the best veins in both arms, and you can even see, let's see if you can see, this right arm, which I have veins that they would be able to stick, they aren't able to access because I had my lymph nodes removed. So the right arm is out of the picture. Now the left arm, I have clot, and a lot of my veins have collapsed. So I find myself with no IV access, and it really scares the crap out of me because of my history with patients in the same circumstance. And I just don't understand how I went from being young and healthy and having amazing veins to now no IV access. That being said, I hydrated myself. I went back to LabCorp, and on the third try, they were able to get my vein and get good blood return. So we were able to get a blood sample, and then as soon as I got home, I just took my blood thinner again. I want to talk a little bit about work. I wanted to get back to work mid-September, and as I had finished radiation, I was really motivated and excited and wanting to get back so quickly. And then mid-September, I found myself just completely hitting a wall with the radiation burns doing really bad. I had to take pain medication for that again, which made me upset because I've been off of it for a while, and I was happy about that. And in addition to that, it just made me so tired. I've been sleeping so much. However, when I wake up, I see an increase in my skin and vitality. So I know the sleep is rejuvenating, and I know it's necessary right now. Now, hoping and praying that after I get my port removed, that I will maybe be in the position to go back to work in November. I'm praying that happens. However, my oncologist said I need to throw out my timelines because I cannot control what's going on right now. He explained to me that I've been through a long journey, double mastectomy, 8 rounds of the worst, most aggressive chemo, 30 of radiation treatments. I had 2 complications on top of that, pneumonia, as well as colitis. So he said I need to be patient with myself and my recovery. And I need to focus more on how far I've come and less on what I'm not able to do still. So that is my mission and my focus right now. It was really hard for me, and it still is a challenge for me to rest and not be doing things. I'm so used to having my days filled and being able to converse with people at work. It's just a challenge for me to lay down and be by myself so much. I know that I am starting to near the end of this journey, and I'm just being patient with myself. No matter how many challenging days that I have or moments that I have to get through, I am committed to being happy and joyful in my life and finding a way to navigate this new normal. As much as I dislike saying that as well, because I do not surrender to this being the same way infinitely. I know that my body is healing and I will have my energy back. I just need to let myself fully process my emotions as they come up. This past week was fearful and it came with a lot of tears. And as I process the emotions, it feels bad and scary. However, it leaves me feeling lighter and less heavy about what I'm feeling. And it leaves me also with a higher level of clarity. I would also like to mention something that's been a critical part of my journey, which is my fur babies, my Zaza bear, my kitty cat, who has been my nurse throughout this. She has been so loving and amazing for me. And in August, after I had the blood clot and resolved to do what I love in life, I started volunteering at Beacon Animal Rescue, just cuddling cats and walking small dogs, because I do have my expanders in my chest still. And within a week, I wound up fostering a baby puppy who had to have emergent surgery upon being rescued from a kill shelter. That 2-day foster has now turned into a full-time, lifelong emotional support companion. And although some may say I have rescued him, I know in my heart that he has rescued me. His name was Indy, and I did change his name after deciding to adopt him. You guys don't understand how scary that adoption process was for me. First of all, I am a woman of my word. So being that I declared that I was going to foster and just nurse the dog through his rest and recovery as I was doing the same, resting and recovering, our 2-day circumstance wound up turning into over 6 weeks because he had to have 2 surgeries. And during that time, I was also recovering and sleeping a lot myself. So he was on crate rest, I was on bed rest, and as I was walking him, it helped me to walk myself. And as I feed him and Zaza, it helped me to feed and nurture myself. And it also helped me get over a big fear that I have of allowing myself to have love in my life. I realized that with my job, I was stuck in this story that I can't possibly have a dog in my life because I travel too much. And so after having him as a foster for a while, I decided to try to keep him with a different lens of I can rather than I can't. So I thank my neighbors, Donna, Kate, all of my neighbors, Glenn, for all of your help and your inspiration for telling me that love always finds a way and that we can make this happen. So I thank you so much, because you're so right. I realize, why am I not accepting love? Why do I have such a big fear of this? And yeah, it feels great to have him in my life and know that I can. Let's see if I can find him to introduce him. Ziggy. So I changed his name to Ziggy. Ziggy Stardust. Come here, Zig. Come here, Ziggy Bear. Come here, honey bunny. This is Ziggy. Zig, say hi. Say hi to everyone. Oh, this is my little Ziggy Stardust. He is named after the late, great David Bowie. And I can't tell you how amazing Ziggy has been. When I get upset, he comes and lays on my chest and licks me and helps me get out of that state of mind. And now that I have him in here, of course, Zaza went under the bed. I've shared a lot of pictures on my social media sites of Zaza, so if you'd like, you can follow me on Instagram. She sells seashells with 2 E's. And or that's what she said. I have 2 accounts and share a lot of the same things on both of them, but then there are some things that I will share on one and not the other. And there's a lot of things in this journey that I haven't been able to make videos about that I have shared on those social media accounts. So you're more than welcome to join me there. And I want to wrap this up now. Just say once again, thank you all for your love, support, and prayers. It means so much to me. And we're going to get this poured out on Friday. And then my surgeon said we'll continue my breast expansions. We'll continue my breast expansions in 1 month. So, and then hopefully have my swap out surgery where I get the expanders out and the silicone put in January or February. So excited. That's what she said. I love you. Have a great week. And I will be talking to you all soon. Mwah.